Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. So we've got a brand new 2024 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse gooseneck sitting behind me. What's unique about this trailer is this is an extra tall trailer. So if you're in the market, got some big horses, you need a little bit more height in this, in your actual load space area, this is gonna be a good candidate for you. Now, before we jump into this trailer, I wanna show you the drawing of it, just to kind of show you how this trailer actually lays out. So again, it's a 4-horse, we have a front tack room on it. It's a 3/8 short wall front tack room. Again, 4-horse. We're just over 21 foot on the floor. We're about 21 foot 3 inches on the floor. We're 6'10" wide. That is standard width on Cimarrons. And then from there we can go wider. Now the big thing is this one's 7'7" tall, so we have that extra height. Standard 7'1", you can go in 3-inch increments. So we got up to a 7'7" tall. So this is really good for your warm bloods, your thoroughbreds, anything really big. Really fit this trailer extremely well if you're needing that extra height. All aluminum construction, 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, so bumper to hitch, 1-year no questions asked warranty on your tires, whether you catch a nail, road debris, have a blowout, they'll stand behind it for a year, which is really nice because again, they stand behind the product themselves. Now, 2024 models. So a couple things we've been doing a little bit different on these. One of the very first things is three button lights up at the nose. That is standard. We were adding this to quite a few trailers. Cimarron just decided, hey, on the 24 models, let's make that standard. Just gives it a good look. Those are button lights, so they're an LED, not a big power draw, put out a lot of light. A sleeker look, in my opinion, as far as the look goes, by having those. Underneath the gooseneck, a couple things going on. We have a manual crank jack here, single leg. Spare tire, you're gonna notice that the spare tire is elevated and up out of the way. And there's a reason for that. So if you decided, hey, I want a hydraulic jack rather than the manual crank, our parts and service department can help you with that. I suggest doing the aluminum battery box, a battery disconnect, you know, just taking care of everything to make sure it operates and functions and has the same options that we would if we would add this on directly from the factory. But one of the challenges is on a 6'10" wide standard width trailer, this spare is usually located down low. Well, when we go to take this off and put a hydraulic jack on there, we have to relocate this spare. So we kept moving our spares up just so we didn't have to spend that extra amount of time and money, especially for you, the consumer at the end, actually having to spend more money to get this out of the way in order to put a hydraulic jack on this trailer. So we just started doing this. Now Cimarron's made this standard on their 6'10" wides. Now, 7'6", 8-foot wide trailers, not as big of a deal. We have a wider trailer, so this doesn't interfere because it can shift over to the side. But we're going ahead and doing that. One of the other features is these bars for support. So if we want to add that hydraulic jack, same thing, a lot simpler. We have these bars here, the support already for our aluminum battery box, so we don't have to add that on after the fact. In fact, it's challenging because we'd have to weld these actual tubes on. On the other side of this is carpet with glue, so it'd heat up, it'd melt, we'd have an issue there. So by taking these few little steps that we've done here, it makes this process really simple, saves a lot of time and money from the standpoint of you if you're wanting to actually upgrade to that type of a setup there. On Cimarrons, you have an 8.2 nose, a little bit longer than most competitors that run a 7.6, 7.8 long nose. I like it because if you're running a long box truck with a tailgate, if you drop that, you can still walk behind this, the truck itself and then in between the trailer and still have room to operate. The other thing is our gooseneck drop wall height. So from the bottom of this to the bottom of the trailer, industry standard over the years has been 50 inches. Early 2000s, it was 47. What happened? Truck beds got taller. So in order to make these trailers run level, equal weight distribution on 2 axles, and bed clearance, those are the 2 things you want. I've seen them on some older trailers, newer trucks, nosed up, running on the back axle to get bed clearance, or no bed clearance, running on both. Now by us changing this to a 53-inch gooseneck drop wall, we have the ability to adjust our coupler, make sure this trailer's running level, and make sure you have bed clearance for your truck. Think about the cost on a new pickup and what that bed would cost if you damaged it. So I will never say you'll never get into it, but now your chances are drastically less because of this little step. 3 inches into the gooseneck, especially on this one being 7'7" tall, you're not even gonna notice it because we have a little bit more height to it. With that, with it being 8'2" long, you also get more storage up in that neck area as well. So we're getting into this front tack room here, slant wall, doors on passenger side, so curbside. I really like that feature from the standpoint of, listen, if you have to pull off to the side of the road, have to get something out, maybe you have your bottle jack, maybe a ramp in there, anything you need to change a tire, anything along those lines. Now we're not street side, we're curbside, so safer for you. Now we have a 42-inch wide door, and there's a reason for that I'll show you here in a minute. But nice big wide doors, you can see, easy getting in and out. You see how easy it was stepping in here with that fold-up step. That's something we've been putting on about every one of our trailers. It just makes a world of difference, especially when you're transitioning in and out of these, carrying tack, carrying other items in. It makes it so much simpler. On your 42-inch wide door, you're gonna get a 4-tier blanket pole rack. It's on a gas shock, so it swings. You have a brush tray, small miscellaneous items you can throw in there, brushes, fly sprays, other ointments, hoof picks, whatever you need to. Those are handy to have right on the door. Now, 42-inch wide door, it's bigger than the standard, which is a 32, then we can go 36. But on a 42, the reason why is we have the swing out saddle rack. We want to be able to have plenty of clearance between this door frame and whatever saddles you have on these racks themselves. It's on a gas shock as well, so as you see, I just let go and it just slowly makes its way around there. Since it's a 4-horse, you're going to get 4 racks. These are adjustable. If you want to spread them out, maybe you don't need all 4, you can take some out, store them somewhere safe. All you have to do is loosen these nuts, slide them where you want, tighten them back up, and you're good. The other thing I like about the 42-inch wide option, as you can see, there's still a path I can get in and out. A lot of competitors will run their door frames closer together, so your saddles are literally dragging on door frames coming out. Maybe you have a stirrup hang up. This one here, again with those, it's out, you can't get in, so you have to swing them in. This one here, you can literally operate in and out, and then again, it just swings back around this corner itself. Now, as you come into the tack room, you're gonna notice we have a partial boot box here. It's a 12-inch boot box. Great little place to just sit if you need to. Use it as a step hopping up into the gooseneck, but for smaller items, just throwing them in there, keeping the front tack room a little bit more organized is always nice. Carpet on the floor, carpet on the deck, carpet on the drop wall. So as you can see, we're not losing anything by doing that 53-inch gooseneck drop, especially on these taller trailers. You know, this one here, 7'6" tall, so those 3 inches don't make a world of difference there. A lot of head space, a lot of room. Windows, so you can see out. If you wanted to throw a bedroll, a mattress, something along those lines, you can see out, create a cross breeze. I think that's a nice feature there. We frame all of them for an air conditioner, so if you ever wanted to add an air conditioner or even a camper style, just manual vent, even a 12 volt if you're doing the hydraulic jack, you've got that option. All those footprints are the same, so you can just cut it out. Again, like we were talking about the spare tire, the brackets for our aluminum battery box, those pieces already done. It's, again, saves you a lot of time and money by having that feature just put on the order sheet. On the short wall, again, 3/8 foot short wall, we have a shelf. It's got a nice big lip to it. It's 18 inches deep. You can store a lot of items in there. You don't have to worry about them shifting off as you're driving. And then you've got a clothes bar that goes underneath. This is awesome. Put clothes in here. You can hop in, change. Maybe you're at an event, at a show. It's easy to just travel with this as well. You don't have to hang clothes in the truck. It's got somewhere to stay. They're up out of the way, keeping them nice and clean there. And then we've got some bridle hooks. So these are aluminum powder coat. So they're nice and strong. I like the height, the width between them, and then the depth off the wall. Cimarron's developed those and actually built them themselves. So strong with it being the aluminum powder coated. But again, we can hang a lot of items right on there, and then carpet behind it, protecting, you know, whatever bits, any head stall, anything you have hanging right there, they're not gonna get scuffed up. And then behind the swing out saddle rack is a 25-gallon I'll get this out of the way. 25-gallon gravity feed water tank. Fills from the top, empties from the bottom. You got a hose, put a ball valve on the end out here. You can fill up buckets right outside this tack door. It's awesome. Whether you're traveling in summertime, you know, maybe you're at an event, the hydrant's a long ways away, you've got that water right here available for you on the trailer. Maybe you have a finicky horse that only likes that water from home. You can carry 25 gallons right there. And then honestly, that's wasted space behind that. So it's nice to be able to utilize that with something. White sheeting, that is the standard color, standard option. There are other color options. The most popular are charcoal metallic, silver metallic black. There's an upcharge in there. We've got custom colors. We've had a Pepsi blue trailer recently. We got a red trailer coming here pretty soon. So we can do custom colors for you as well. You see the big bus windows. So I give Cimarron a lot of credit, really trying to maximize the size of those windows, because on bus windows, you have to keep in mind, only half of them are gonna slide open. So let's maximize, get bigger windows in there. Let's really get a lot of airflow throughout the trailer. You have a 16-inch awning light right there in the middle. So that way you have some light coverage out here. 4 tie rings. Then we get down to 2 6,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles, 16-inch wheels, the black and silver. I think it ties in really well. Goodyear tires, nitrogen-filled tires. So you can put air to them, but from a benefit standpoint of the nitrogen, it won't allow PSI levels to fluctuate drastically. I mean, we'll go from, we were in the mid-70s yesterday as a high, we'll be in the 50s at night, then we'll jump up to 90s later this week. So big temperature differences affect that, and nitrogen really helps without making those PSI levels fluctuate drastically. You have electric brakes on this, so obviously your truck will have to have an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you need an aftermarket, our parts and service department can help you out there. Bolt-on fenders. Had a conversation with one of our techs just the other day. Had a used trailer come in, weld on, had to cut it off, weld the new one on. Took a lot more time, about double the time that it took from these bolt-ons. So if you have something tear these up, it again will save you time and money from the standpoint of having to change that out. Now with this one being the standard width, 6'10" wide, you have no wheel wells on the inside. We're also gonna have a 60/40 setup with the back doors. So the smaller doors to the left, larger doors to the right. So if you want to just work off of the right-hand side, loading, unloading, you have a little bit more space there. As we get to the wider trailer, 7, 6, 8 wide, we'll go to just 50/50 doors. But in this instant here, we did 60/40. Maybe your horse prefers a ramp load. So we can remove that rubber bumper and put a ramp over. We do carry those here, so we can help you out with that. If it's a different colored trailer, we might have to special order that in. Might take a couple extra weeks to get those in, but we do carry the white sheeted ramps for these trailers on hand, so it's really easy if we wanted to upgrade to that. You see the strap going across, and the reason why we have a strap is this is one big opening, no rear tack room, so we don't want one big piece of metal going across there. When you break that loose, you don't want a horse hitting it, even bumping it, it'll come at you. So we go with the strap option on these. Solid dividers. Maybe you want pads on these dividers. We can, or again, parts and service can help you out there. Stud divider at number 1. But I want you to notice on these solid dividers, especially when we get to the back one, it will go against the sidewall and you can shut your rear doors. So we put a little bit of length in this rear stall so we can keep this a solid divider, and also it shuts. Some manufacturers, their door will stop about there, and that's where you can shut your rear doors, so you're wasting some stall space. The springs were tipped towards passenger side, but as you can see, these springs actually are trying to hold these over to driver's side for us. It's safer for you, safer for the horses, from the standpoint of I don't have to hold the divider open loading and unloading. But again, solid divider, stud divider at number 1. So if you wanted to use this first stall for additional storage, or you have a horse you need to separate, you can put them in this first stall and don't have to worry about that. You can access those items from your escape door I'll show you on the outside. But let's talk about the floor on these trailers. So I talked earlier about all aluminum construction. If you want to tell quality of an all aluminum trailer, this is my opinion, crawl underneath and look at the floor. As you start noticing their I-beams that run across this the full length, when you start spreading those apart, I feel like you're getting a less quality trailer. As centers start coming together, it's stronger, probably a higher quality trailer. No one's gonna touch a Cimarron floor. They're the best in the industry. It's a 12-inch deck, it's extruded, so it locks in high and low, tongue and groove, 4-inch centers. So wherever you have a horse standing on this floor, they're standing on a support beam. So that makes a big difference in the quality of how this trailer will hold up. Rubber mats, you have to care for all aluminum trailers. So you pull your mats out at least once a year, maybe more, depending on how much you're using it. Power wash it out, let it dry, put baking soda down, and then put your mats back in. The reason why baking soda is it'll counteract the acidity of urine. Urine and aluminum don't mix, it'll corrode. That's where you get that corrosion, pinholes, soft spots in floors over time. So definitely you have to care for this floor there. You have your kick mats on your wall, flush mount, paddle latches, so aluminum, powder coating, heavy UHMW paddle latch itself, so we don't have that metal to metal contact, creating a lot of noise. But I want you to notice everything has a radius to it, even that cast piece. But on all these dividers, you go put your hands everywhere on these, everything has a smooth radius on them. So animal safety is number one. I give Cimarron a lot of credit for that. I think at times some people lose sight of that's what these trailers are for. They're horse trailers, so we have to think about the animals first and foremost, and then we can worry about some other items. I think some people get a little carried away with their options and features of not really thinking about the actual animals themselves. So we have the height, again, 7'6" or 7'7" tall. So again, a lot more headroom for your bigger horses. Two-way roof vents in here so we can manipulate airflow. Wind just shut my door over on the other side. We'll open that up here in a minute. But airflow is a big thing. We have these bus windows, we have drop windows that I'll show you, but we can manipulate airflow. We have windows in the back doors as well. So we can really create a vacuum through here. You know, winter months as the body's, you know, as heat, you know, just starts to rise from the body heat of the horses, we can actually release that air out as well. But on top of these trailers, same thing, quality of trailers. Then look at the roof. Most competitors will have an aluminum sheeted roof. Every Cimarron comes with an insulated roof. Doesn't matter if it's this trailer, a bumper pole, a cattle trailer, or a big living quarters, they all have this roof. It is a 1/2 inch thick, reinforced, honeycomb design, R3 thermal value, insulated roof. So it's really strong. So I can walk on it. It can take 150 pounds per square foot, take substantial hail, R3 thermal value, gel coating. So it really protects and keeps the stall area a lot cooler, especially than aluminum sheeted trailers. I mean, we're talking 20% cooler. So on those real hot days on this asphalt, you come in here towards the end of the day, I like taking customers to a brand that has an aluminum roof, horse trailer, it's all been sealed up all day, make them step in it, and then I'll take them to a Cimarron and the same thing. And you can physically tell a difference in the temperature based on that roof. So great feature there. Again, let's keep animals comfortable, let's keep them safe. And Cimarron's done a really great job on a lot of these features within this trailer in order to do that. You have a couple LED lights inside, LED light at the back, an 8-inch at the back. They're all on individual switches too. So I can turn on that one on passenger side, I can turn on stalls, I can turn on the back, or I can turn on driver's side. All individually, I can have them all lit up like we have in the video as we're showing you. There's a good look at those drop windows. Same thing that I was showing you on the bus windows. Let's maximize the airflow in here. Cimarron's done a great job on really making these openings large, getting a lot of airflow. You see the jail bars, big, heavy duty framed drop windows. This is another thing to look at for quality. Some manufacturers use a prefab window. It's really lightweight. It literally is like a piece of paper in my hand. These are big, they're stout. This is all framework around this. So extremely strong. We'll use these about every time we use this trailer. So we want them to hold up. Everything's key-like as well. So all your tack doors, drop windows, rear doors, everything has one key. And then you have welded hinges with grease zerks. So again, from a maintenance standpoint, kind of like along those lines of those bolt-on fenders, a lot simpler. If you start getting a squeaky hinge, you can put grease to it. There's a brass rod in the middle that has a groove cut into it. So as you open and close, it's wanting to force that grease throughout that hinge. So a lot simpler for you to maintain there. And then there's that escape door. I just didn't have the hold back on it. Chest bar going across that opening there. But again, if you wanted to utilize that for additional storage, you have horses loaded, you can access that when you're, maybe you make a stop for lunch, maybe you're fueling up the truck. But then you also have a drop window in that as well. Some manufacturers will literally just have a bus window in that. But on this, it's a little bit smaller than the others, but that's just from the framework that we're dealing with without, you know, having a little bit smaller opening with around that door frame itself. But again, really well set up 4-horse, a lot of options on it. We can do a lot of things after the fact to it, hay racks. Maybe you want graphics to match your truck. We can actually have another company, Mammoth Graphics, that we can design, do different colors that'll match your truck, whatever you want there. So there's a lot of items we can do after the fact to these, just because it's sitting on the lot and maybe it has 9 out of the 10 options, 8 out of the 10 options you want. But those couple little things, we can definitely help you out with possibly. Or if you have time, we'll build you whatever you want. That's the cool thing about Cimarrons. They're like a fingerprint. We'll build it how you want it. So this trailer is available. I'm going to give you the stock number on it for reference. Again, a 2024 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse gooseneck extra tall, 5N230438. We do take trade-ins. So if you're looking to upsize, you know, upgrade, maybe even downsize, maybe you have living quarters, you need to get into just a using trailer, financing is available and delivery is an option as well. So give us a call. Anybody on our sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.